Hey, Shalom, Akim Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakadash. I'm like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Ruwell. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. Noah's in the gospel, brother, from the standard of Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. I just said something quick, man. I was looking at this Davos live official opening of the World Economic Forum. This is the guy by the name of, called him Cotton Swab. All right, which is the front man or the face of the WEF. Okay, he's a puppet. Okay, he's set up by the elites, mainly the Rothschilds, those governing banking families, and he's just a talking head, man. Okay, he's like the founder or like the chairman of this WEF, which is the World Economic Forum, which this guy out of his own mouth stated that you will own nothing and be happy about it, and coincidentally, all of a sudden you're at 9% inflation. You know, jobs are being lost, you know, the cost of living. Like, they got one particular episode on here that they go into the cost of living, how it's just disrupted people's lives and so forth. But these very people were the responsible for implementing the laws in a particular dire circumstances that our people are facing as a whole. Okay, because I guarantee you none of these people were without power or without food or shelter, you know. But mainly what stood out to me, what he spoke on, was the technocracy. You know, he was breaking down the whole concept of a technocracy, which is a world that's led by technology. Okay, and I meant to put this in my last video when I went into Nate. Little side note, it says National Michael C. Hippie Month, June 23. Hey, this is gonna be hey Nate, you put your own foot in your mouth with that. National MC Month in June is all about pets. They talking about pets, but that's just, it's just a little funny inside thing, man. Because, you know, Nate was mocking, is this June? Ain't no Michael C. Hips, it's June. You know, that clown kept, you know, saying that. All right, but regardless of that, technocracy. Technocracy definition, which means the government or control of society or industry by an elite of technical experts. Okay, technocracies. Now, let's see something here. See, merging man with machine. This is why you have all these smartphones, these iPhones, and all this other stuff, man. You got the new Apple computers and so forth. You even got the concept of smart vehicles, smart cities. And this is what they want to, you know, extol everybody to. Okay? Like it says, technocracy in America. And then, you know, you got the computer age. Like it tells you in Daniel, it says that in that time, knowledge shall increase and people should run to and fro. All right? Technocracy in the fourth industrial revolution. And industrial revolution. Let's do it this way, see what happens. The fourth industrial revolution, because, you know, the first, you know, the third, you had power plants, you had the assembly line, you know, Ford, etc. Back in the early the late 1800s, and then the early 1900s, you had steel tycoons and so forth, steam liners, you know, assembly lines. That was the industrial revolution prior to this one. Now we're in the fourth, which is dealing with the technocracy. All right, let's see what it says here. Got images. Yep, you got the first revolution, which was mechanization, steam, and water power. Second revolution, mass production and electricity. Third revolution, electronics, IT systems, and automation. And fourth industrial revolution, you had cyber physical systems, Wi-Fi, hence the Internet of Things. Okay, which is going to lead into that ultimate charagma. All right. See, World Economic Forum, fourth industrial revolution. You got cloud computing, augmented reality, which is basically the metaverse. You got multi-level customer interaction and customer profiling, which basically you got those like minority report scans, like those retina scans. Like a lot of times they got those cameras that can take your biometrics and they pull you up on a database and they get your information just off coming into a store. They would know if you got a warrant, they would know if you don't have the C-hip in you, etc. This is all part of this man's enterprise. All right, you got big data analytics, computing, internet, nuclear energy. You see the assembly line, and then it went to the fourth industrial revolution, smart sensors, 3D printing, authentication and fraud detection, advanced human-machine interfaces, location detection technologies, LOT platforms, mobile device. Okay, and this is where we're at, and this is where we're heading, and ultimately is going to lead into the CHIP. That's going to pretty much connect all the accolades of this fourth industrial revolution into the Internet of Things via the CHIP. This is why they want everybody juiced up to put those particular particles in them. Basically, you're going to be like a fucking antenna, man. You're basically going to be like a computer. You're going to be like a how can I say it? You're basically going to be a fucking signal, an antenna, man. You know, I won't be surprised if you have people literally walking down the street catching on fire, which is called spontaneous combustion. People walk down the street because they're full of so much frequencies in their body just ignite on fire. All right, which is some kind of funny shit when you think of the concept, but hey, that's a reality. But that's what these elites are trying to go forth, man. All right, and that's what this guy Cotton Swab, he was basically mentioning in this particular speech, which I heard that he wasn't supposed to be there, him or Soros, but allegedly he's there. And this man is the devil, man. All right, but like I said, he's just a front man. He's the face of a corporation. He's not the one that's really pulling the strings. He's the mouthpiece, man. He's like the false prophet. He's like one of the prophets on the left-hand side. All right, let me correct myself and not say the false prophet, because they you talking about the no, man. I'm not talking about the Catholic Church or the Vatican. No, man. All right, but they're preaching peace. So this is the book of 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, and it says, I'm gonna start at verses 1. It says, but of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. It says, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of Yahushua so cometh as a thief in the night. Okay, so this day is going to come upon the unbelievers unawares, because you got men that's holding off the second coming of Yahushua, you know, and it happens all the time. Every time a group of niggas get kicked out or quit, you know, and you notice it be the men at Great Millstone, Elite Great Millstone, that always come against the doctrine. But you know why they do that? Because we can honestly say that our men that come from our ranks, that actually built up in the scriptures, and they actually are biblically based, even though they're a bunch of damn scoffers and demons, they have the audacity to continue to teach for a little while longer, and they come against the doctrine. Versus other camps, them niggas just fall out and go back in the world. But these men that lead the ranks of Great Millstone, they attempt to keep some type of spiritual or spirit within them. Even though it's scoffing, they still hide behind the biblical based knowledge of what they've been taught to some degree. So you got to give them that, because hey, GMS, we breed the best and the worst niggas, man. All right, and I'm just saying, I'm being honest with you, because most men that get kicked out of Great Millstone, they go off to become scoffers, where they know more than the leadership, and they got this new so-called doctrine that was fucking peacock delivered from heaven on the goddamn front door. This is the new knowledge now. What they were teaching was wrong. You're fucking right, man. But anyway, it says, for when they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction coming upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. And you got these world leaders talking about peace, peace, peace. But the scriptures say there is no peace, and there's no peace unto the wicked. Okay, because there's no peace unto these devils. These devils don't know peace. You know, I read a couple of memes and just researching wars, and you know, the Revolutionary War, the French War, you got the Spanish-American War. And when you go into the history of Esau's wars upon establishing Babylon the Great, the Civil War, etc., you notice that he was at war goddamn 220 some plus years. He's may only enjoyed a few years but of peace. Like the scriptures say, continually they are gathered together for war. That's in this man's nature, which proves that he's the Edomite. For you guys out there that like to say that the so-called white man is Japhet, no, he's the Edomite. Look at the history and compare the scriptures until the characteristics of the Edomite. He was going to be a man that ruled by the sword, and that's a key indicator that the so-called white man is the biblical Edomite. Okay, one of the main characters of the Lord's story. Okay, ain't gonna be no goddamn Japhite. All right, Japhet ain't putting hell on Jake, man. All right, but anyway, it says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. And this is the reason why we're reporting on shit like this. Okay, this fourth industrial revolution, this is a real thing. We're living in it now. Okay, that's the reason why you don't have flip phones no more. Like, go to the store and try to get a flip phone, they're gonna laugh you out the store. You know, like we had that 2G network, 3G, that shit is slow as hell. That don't even work anymore. They discontinued that technology. You know, so if you get a flip phone with a couple of minutes on it, it works off a particular alternate network. But ultimately, man, you on this 5G network. Like if you look in the right hand corner of this screen, this is a 5G network right here, man. Okay, and it's the only way that this phone will function. If it go down to LTE, which is 4G, then it becomes slow and stagnant. But this is the reason why they're erecting all these towers up around the clock, because they want to get this shit up and popping. It's a smart city. You know, like in my house, I can control my lights with my damn phone. I can come in the house and then the Wi-Fi kicks on and the lights will come on, man. Or sometimes if you got the music hooked up to the Bluetooth or the radio, I can hook all that shit up in my house and pull up, and then I have music playing when I come in the damn front door. You know? So yeah, brothers, man, this is what it is. This is part of their enterprise. Okay? Job 5th chapter, and I'm gonna start at verses 12. It says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Okay, this is what they're going up into these summit meetings for. Okay, they want to get this new world order to replace the Most High. It's basically going to be a dystopia or a kingdom of heaven on the left hand side. It's nothing but Esau's twisted kingdom of heaven. And the only way you're going to enter is if you take an allegiance and an oath to the so-called white man, which is the devil. Okay, and how do you get upon his kingdom? By receiving his C-hip, his M-A-R-K. Okay, that a lot of you Israelite guys are not speaking about. And why won't you go into this, man? This is a key prophecy as to us getting the fuck up out of here, and you niggas are not going into it. But you claim that you want to be kings, you're princes of the power. How are you princes of the power when you're not even prophesying the end of this man's kingdom to get to the kingdom? That's why we pushing the C-hip, because we're telling you that prophecy is going to be one of the key indicators on whether you getting your ass on a chariot or not. Because if you take that C-hip, you're not getting on the chariot. You can forget about it, man. All right, and it says he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. Hey, this is the counsel of the forward here. Okay, I mean, they're doing it in public. Now, Garen, you know, case in factor, they're not going to tell you everything because this is publicly accessible, but you better believe when those cameras go off, when they go in their little round tables, and they sit in their little seats, and they start praying their little demonic gods, you better believe that we come up in a topic. What are we going to do about these Hebrew Israelites, man? What are we going to do about them prophesying on the streets? We need to come up with certain talking points and certain laws and set up certain celebrities to push control opposition so we can be justified on putting an end to that ministry. Okay, they're having these talks behind closed doors, man, believe it or not. This shit that you see here, this is just an illusion to make you people feel like you have a say-so and that you're connected with these people. But these people, they don't give a damn about humanity, man. Okay? Especially when they putting C-hips and so forth in people. They're bankrupting their corporations, man. You got fucking planes crashing out the sky, man. Okay? A lot of shit is happening, man. And people, you jakes, I guarantee you, outside of the truth, ain't none of you jakes are tuning into this shit. You know, you watching Baby Boy, you watching the fucking hip hop awards, you watching Megan Thee Stallion, everything that's keeping you asleep. You know, smoking weed. You know, I don't know what's up with this young generation, you Generation Zers. You're worse than the fucking hippies, man. 20-year-old kids, man, talking about, man, only thing I do is smoke weed every day, all day. You got little fucking women, 17, 18 years old, that don't know nothing but smoking weed all day. I'm like, how in the fuck do you people manage? And wonder why these niggas can't learn a damn thing, man. I mean, getting high with their mind, man. Lost generation. Proves that this is it. Because if we gotta wait on these children to grow up and become the prophets, we in big trouble, man. Because I don't see the Lord waking up that generation. That generation's gonna be destroyed, you know. And it says, and they meet with darkness in the daytime. Okay, they had that summit, I believe, at a certain time in the morning or at night, maybe. I'm not sure. But regardless of it is, they're out in the opening with it. All right. And it says here, and they grope in the noonday as in the night. But he saved the poor from the sword, which is you Edomites, and from their mouth and from the hand of the mighty. And that's them, man. Because you better believe that they're talking against the men of the Lord, and they're talking against our nation as a whole. As a collective, what are we going to do about these blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? And what are we going to do about their prophets? Because Esau knows the Bible, unlike you Jakes. He knew that a group of men was going to rise up out of the tribes and declare the end of his kingdom. Esau knows that. He studied the Bible scripture. He know what Ezekiel 37 is talking about, man. You know, but you got rebellious Jakes out there that's not speaking on these things. All right. So this is the book of Job 18, and I'm going to start at verses 4. 5, it says, yea, the light of the wicked should be put out, and the spark of his fire should not shine. What is his light? His basically they're called the Luciferians on high, which means higher light, higher law. The Hebrew, which means a higher great light. Okay? And that light is their NWO, and their information age and their knowledge. That tabernacle, their rulership, man. All right? And it says, and the spark of his fire should not shine, because your new world order is not going to succeed. It says here, and the light should be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle should be put out with him, and the steps of his strength should be straight, and his own counsel should cast him down. Because you better believe among their counsels, they have what they call defectees, man. When you defect from the natural mission and you start to go AWOL, meaning you speaking against their situation or their kingdom, that's when they put the hit out on you. Okay, you can see that in a lot of the guys, Joe Salente, Alex Trebet, man, fucking what's his name, Jordan Maxwell, you know, Alex Golden Bone Jones, all these guys, man. This guy John Todd, man, he exposed a lot about the Illuminated ones, or the Illuminati back in the 70s. You know, I used to watch him pretty heavily when I was to come to the truth. You know, he claimed he was one of the top witches within the Illuminati, which you can look up, which was restarted or resurfaced by a guy named Adam Weishaupt in year 1775, man. Okay, and it says, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and walking upon a snare, and the gin should take him by the heel, and the robber should prevail against him, and the snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him is in the way, and terror should make him afraid on every side, and should drive him from to his feet, man, because they're gonna try to fight the Lord that is coming. So you better believe that all these is in discussion and talks as to putting away the true children of Israel and trying to put away the Lord that is coming, man. Okay. But anyway, brothers, man, I'm gonna end it there, man. We can go all day on this, but I gotta get back, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and the Baba.